And
Yeah.
then some years later, they began suing the restaurants that were using them. In other words, the restaurants who had done what CSPI demanded that they do.
That's amazing. And then I remember a couple of years ago, I think New York City made a law that nobody could use trans fats and no
Right.
restaurants. So they'd shut down restaurants for using. And I think that's funny because it's kind of like Harry Brown used to say the government will break your legs and then give you crutches and say, see, what would you do without us?
That's right.
Yeah, if it weren't for us, you wouldn't be able to walk.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
They're jumping out ahead of the trend. I mean, people figured out that trans fats were bad, and then here comes all the agencies saying, "Look, we got to ban them." So it's like, yeah, what good is that?
Yeah, not to mention inhibiting people's ability to make their own choices and to be responsible with the way they're eating rather than having mommy daddy government tell them what to do all the time.
Exactly. Of course, trans fats are bad. I avoid them like the plague, but I still don't think they should be outlawed. You know what? If we're going to do that, heck, let's get it over with and outlaw sugar. That's the worst thing in our diets. That is the
Yeah.
absolute worst thing in our diets. So it doesn't make sense to me that, we're going to outlaw McDonald's in New York City frying in trans fats, but we're still going to let them serve Cokes and milkshakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't find consistency. And then, of course, there's the law of unintended consequences. For every law that's passed with supposedly good intentions, you get all this blowback in the black marketplace and makes things worse, actually. Insult to injury, if you will.
Sure, there's going to be people in New York City going, "Psst, buddy, you want some trans fats?" But
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have our work cut out for us, that's for sure. But really, we thank you for making this movie. It's great that this stuff is getting out there and people can actually see an objective perspective on nutrition and food and how they can actually be healthy.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. If you don't mind me mentioning, when I finished the movie, I thought I was done, and then I realized there was so much more I wanted to say. You guys know, I don't know if your readers know, that I put up a couple articles a week on my blog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's www.fathead, that's one word, fathead-movie.com. I'm sure you guys will link to it too. But yeah, I do keep the conversation going on the blog.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I don't know which blog it was on. I think that one that you talked about the vegetarian myth, that book.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Have you guys had a chance to interview her or tried to interview her?
No.
Have not, but I think that's on the agenda because it's pretty interesting stuff. I was listening to an interview with her on Blog Talk Radio, and I'm not sure the name of that show that she got interviewed on, but yeah, it was pretty well done.
Maybe it was Underground Wellness with Sean Croxton.
That's what it was. That's what it
Yeah.
was. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pleased that, she's not only a fabulous writer, and I mean that, she's a fabulous writer. She also is very good in the interview situation. A lot of good information there. Even if people don't read the book, I hope they look up her interviews.
Yeah, it'd actually be timely for us too, because we spent our first, few podcasts discussing some of the popular diet books out there. And a lot of them now, in the last year or so, are recommending the vegan diet as being the healthiest of all diets. So, and I think it's good to get the perspective out there that it may not be. And there are some good things about eating that way, especially all the vegetables you're getting, but there's a lot that hasn't been looked into and analyzed by these books that are just more, a lot of fluff.
Well, and I think a lot of people claim when they became vegetarians their health improved, and I believe them. But the reason is a lot of people go from eating, a crap diet to deciding, I'm tired of eating this crap diet. I'm going to do something healthy. What's healthy? Being a vegetarian. Well, in that case, they're not just giving up meat. They're typically giving up sugar and white flour and a lot of other junk. Of course their health improves. If you go from a junk diet to a whole food vegetarian diet, the point is you can go to a whole food diet that's not a vegetarian diet and you'll be even healthier still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that about wraps it up. Again, thanks for coming on the show, Tom, and hopefully we can keep in touch and pursue more of these issues.
Yeah, please do. I really appreciate the time, guys.
Yeah, and good luck with your future projects.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So that was Tom Naughton.
Yeah, well, hope you enjoyed the interview we just had, and we look forward to having more interviews in the future. If you have any suggestions for people to interview, just comment on our blog or in the comment section after the show notes for each podcast. That would be much appreciated.
Yeah, and we are, since it is the new year, just a reminder, we are offering the free audio, and that's the 3 pillars for achieving your perfect weight through the mind-body connection. And all you have to do to get that is to go to healthymindfitbody.com, and over on the right side, just put in your name and email address, and we'll send that to you right away.
Yeah, and then you'll be on the list, newsletter list, right?
Yeah, and we'll send you out a monthly newsletter and notifications on upcoming exciting interviews like the one we just had.
Indeed. So take advantage of getting the healthy mind, fit body ball rolling in your life. That's really a crucial thing because, as we just talked about, these are important issues. And the mainstream, most people that are so-called experts, really are not helping people out as much as they could be.
Exactly.
Okay, well, have a good week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next week.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for listening.
It's